All right, so we're gonna move on to probably the most basic half guard escape, or side control escape, excuse me. It's gonna be very similar to the half guard, at least the beginning, in terms of framing and creating space and getting the underhook. The end's gonna be a little bit different, okay? So we're gonna start off with Dustin in side control. Okay, again, he's trying to close off a lot of this space, not give me space to re-guard, not give me space for underhook. So just like we did in the half guard one, we're gonna have to start creating some space. So again, just below midway here, I'm gonna frame off his hip. If he sits up, just so you got another glance at it, I make sure I feel his hip bone on there. If it's too deep, when he presses in with his hip, it just bends my arm. And if it's too high, it's gonna slip out. So I need to find kind of that good point. It's maybe like 2 inches in from the elbow right there, where I'm able to frame that and feel his hip bone. Okay? This hand I need to frame as well, but just like in the half guard one, if I bring this over the top like this to try and get it in, I'm leaving myself open for Americana, and I gotta be careful of that. So instead, I'm gonna take this hand, and I might have to bump once or twice to create a little space, but I'm actually gonna see how I swim this under. I pummel it under his chest, and I might have to bump once to get it under. But eventually, I'm gonna get my elbow to this shoulder and keep it glued, and I'm gonna get a grip on this side with my hand. So now I got pretty good space. Now, if you're worried about him taking mount or worried about him taking knee on stomach, you could take this knee and put it up as well. Now, a lot of people put it up like this. The reason I don't like having it like this is because if he pushes into me with his hip, it slides my foot, right? I'm not controlling him. So instead, I'll put my foot on the top of my leg, walk this out a little bit, and now I got this frame here going all the way down, so when he pushes in with his hip, he's pushing into the ground. The weight's coming here. Makes just a little bit stronger of a frame. So I got him framed off pretty good. Now I can actually start my escape. So when I get to here, when I actually want to start my escape, I'm in control of what's going on. I need to bridge to create some of that space. Now, keeping this foot up on here is going to make it very hard to bridge. So when you go for your escape, you are going to have to bring that down. Bring it down. I'm going to bridge up. Keep this arm up so that when I hip away and get on my side, I got space here, right? And if I stay flat on my back, it's not good. He's going to end up crushing me down. That's one of the big problems people have with side control escapes is they stay flat on their back. Big guys especially. So make sure when you bridge into him, keep this top hand high, hip out on my side, so I'm on my side. And now, look at how much space I got. I keep this elbow high, swim under. Okay, now, this is where it's going to get a little different. Let's turn it just a little so you can see. This is where it's going to get a little different from the half guard escape. He's hooking my head here. That's very common. So I need to make sure, while I still have that space, I duck my head in. If I could do everything perfect, and if he's cross-facing me with his shoulder and I'm trying to belly out, it's not going to work. So I need to make sure while I have the space, I tuck the head in. This leg is planted. I'm going to take the non-planted leg and do what we call thread the needle. See how it's sliding under my leg. Thread it under, go all the way till my belly. Now look, I had to keep my arms up. My arms come in right away, Dustin goes around and attacks my back. So I keep my arms up. At least get a grip on his pants. That'd be good. And now one leg at a time, I get up to my knees. And then from here, we're playing all our turtle. Right? I can do my single, double, sit out, whatever I want to do. But we're just playing bottom turtle. And I'm out of side control. So one more time, a little bit quicker. We're in side control. He's closed off all the space. He probably feels really tight. I need to start controlling what's going on. Right now, he's controlling what's going on. Frame him off on the hip. Swim this under. I might have to bump once to get this in. Frame them off up here. If I want, I can have this here. Again, I don't like this one. It slides too much. Put it right on the top. Walk the second leg out a little bit so it frames and keep it glued to his hip. When I'm ready to do my escape, I'm going to plant so I can bridge, and I'm going to bridge up. Keeping this arm up, my left arm. Then I can hip out. Okay, now when I'm on my side, and I have him framed off so that I'm controlling the space, it's really easy for me to get the underhook. I take the hand, I swim it under, I get my underhook. At the same time as this hand swims in, my head swims in. So underhook swims, my head swims. This leg is based, this leg threads the needle, and I belly out, keeping my arms out so that he stays in front of me. 1 inch at a time, one leg at a time, get up to my knees, and now we're playing bottom turtle position. Okay, it's a nice aggressive half guard escape.